Okay, now let's just talk about poverty, right? Because poverty is a massive tool when it comes on to spiritual warfare. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't seem to realize that poverty is a very effective weapon when it comes down to these entities because they've got to keep you in toxic environment, whether it is a toxic work environment or a toxic relationship. You see, a lot of people will say, oh, well, that is why I don't talk about things that I'm going to do and I constantly pray. These entities are very, very intelligent. They're not stupid. And they know if some of us get just the smallest amount of opportunity, then they cannot have any power over you. They know, right? So they are always one step ahead of you, whether you speak, whether you whisper prayer, they are going to stay one step ahead of you because they control this world, the material things, and they are going to block you in every corner you turn, right? Now, when it comes on to poverty, a lot of people like to sit and criticize people. Oh, well, if it was me, I'll do this, I'll do that. People are working. But these entities, they've got a way to make sure that you don't have an extra dollar. No. Many people in third world country can relate to this. Oh, I just have X amount and it just disappear and I barely purchase anything. A lot of people can relate. That is the entities. That is how they work because I see it as well, right? They have a way of stealing your money, right? Because they've got to keep you in desperation. They've got to keep you in poverty. They tie your feet in poverty. So when you're going to do something positive, something good, and you're not even speaking about it, you just move. Trust and believe. They are moving with you and they are making sure to destroy it. Right? Or you decide that you're going to sell oranges. You will have your oranges and you won't sell one. That is, I've seen them. And because I can see them, I know how they work, right? And when it comes down to poverty, you notice people usually have very cramped spaces. It's as if all the governments across the world, they are working for the same side. Because the poorer you are, the less space you have, living space you have with your families. You are packed on top of each other. You don't have your own personal space, right? Whether you're in poverty in a poor country or poverty in a rich country, you never have very good personal space. You're always packed into some small apartment with very little backyard. Or if you're in third world country, you have a small shelter and you'll be lucky to have a decent size backyard, right? But the whole goal is to keep you in poverty because sometimes it's not for the parents, it's for the children because you've got to grow these children in despair. And when you go in this toxic work environment and in this toxic relationship because you're in poverty, you take it out on your children, right? So if you think you're not going to do pornography, wait until those children are hungry. If you think you're not going to kidnap people's children for people traffickers, wait until you're hungry, right? Poverty is very, very important. It's a massive tool when it comes down to spiritual warfare because these entities know that the things you will do when you're in poverty, if life was different, you wouldn't have done it. And they know it. And that is why it is such an important tool. And that is why they literally tie you. They literally tie you in this toxic environment to keep you there. Because it's all a part of their plan to groom you. If they cannot change you spiritually, then they're going to physically groom you into commit these sins against the Most High. And that is why people say, I I take up for criminals. I'm always in support. No, I don't take up for criminals. I understand how criminals come into be. I understand how some of them commit these crimes because they were groomed into it, right? These entities, if they cannot get to you on a supernatural level to contaminate your soul, then they're going to groom you physically through poverty. They tie you in toxic work environment or toxic relationships for years. And people will sit and criticize, oh, if it was me, I'll do this. If it was me, I'll do that. These people are working exceptionally hard. And these entities are making sure that they never reach further than they want them to reach. It has to be some serious prayers, to the Most High for you to break that cycle. It is people, you just don't understand when it comes down to these entities how clever they are and how they know to utilize every means of your circumstances against you to get their desired result, to break you and keep you in toxic environment. This world is absolutely cruel. Absolutely cruel. Right? We definitely gotta pray because we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but wickedness in high places. And when it comes down to poverty, we see where whether you're in a rich country or a poor country, everyone seems to be working from the same hymn sheet because it is important to keep a section of society in desperation. It's important to keep them in living conditions on top of each other. It's important for them to only have access to toxic food, right? You can't make this thing up. Poverty is an important tool when it comes down to these entities, when it comes down to spiritual warfare. Do not underestimate these entities. They are very intelligent. They know, had you been in a better position, you would not traffic people, children. Had you been in a better position, you would have not done porn. They know. And that is why they tie you in toxic workplace and toxic relationship to break you down. This world is a very cruel world. We need to pray and say glory be to the Most High.